I'm Alex Thomas, and this is Bars at NexusSoundStudio. We're here today with Cody Manson in the new band. Should you tell us our name and everybody introduce ourselves?
What up, y'all? Most of y'all know me as Cody Manson, but I'm on a new endeavor with a band. We're gonna call it T3rrorist Hilton. Let these guys introduce themselves.
I'm Darian Carneal. I play drums and produce.
Keith Kelly, bass and produce.
Keith Stone, hype man, DJ.
George Archibald, guitars.
And JB, guitar.
Yeah, so some of y'all that have been following my career and stuff from the past probably 4 years, I dropped an EP called Charlie Monroe. That was like a taste of like kind of what this is, but this is like its whole own monster, I feel like. And it's like, I feel like the more I write, the better I'm getting, but like this is the first time I've been like excited about a project in a while. So I'm excited for everyone to hear this shit.
So what made you guys bring the band together? What inspired it?
Well, I was living out in LA, and I had a lot of people that were like in bands in the metal scene, and I had some opportunities that I could do, but it was like hard to do as a rapper. So in my mind, just on my own, I'm like, yo, I need to get a band. Like I was like trying to put a band together out there. And then like probably within like the same week of me actually hitting people up, trying to find, people that are down for it, I was talking to Keith, because he was finishing up with my last album and stuff, and he was like, yo, I need, I'm trying to do this band shit for real. And it's just like, he's on the same shit just organically. And we were like, yo, we were originally gonna just be like, just still call it Cody Manson, and just with a band, but at the same time, like, I feel like the way the sound is, like, it's kind of like, like I said, it's like its own monster. So like, I'm still gonna rap as Cody Manson, and then like at these shows, like I'll still do some Cody Manson shit with the metal vibes or whatever. But I don't know if you want to iterate on some of this.
Yeah, I mean, you came to us, started recording a long time ago. I'm like, yeah, we did that Charlie Monroe EP. Darian and JB was involved in that. I wasn't really involved in the recording, but we got to learn it all as a band later and do a big show at the Foundry with Twisted and open for them. And it was like sold out. It was like so dope. So we were just like, yeah, when he hit me up about it, I was like, yep, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'll find the guys who can, tour and whatever, and we'll just put it together. We've already been through a couple guys, you know who it is. We won't say his name, Adam. He started it with us. We wrote some songs, and we just moved on.
We love you, Adam.
We love you.
We love you.
You're going to hear some of his stuff on there, but, we had to be able to leave, the guys without, who were able to go and do the out-of-state shows that we're trying to do, and, just worked out that this lineup, was able to do it and just gelled real organically.
Yeah, straight up.
So what's the process like been creating with a band versus, making your own music?
See, this is one thing that we were just talking about is like these songs that you guys are gonna hear. I wrote these to like I wrote and recorded reference tracks to rap beats that had a similar vibe to what we were going for, and then they just take the BPM and they play what they play to it. They do their own thing to it, and then just keep my vocals from the rap reference, and then we mix it like that. But like one thing I am gonna get into is like a lot more screaming on tracks. Like Darian screams on the tracks with me, but I'm definitely polishing that up. And then like I said, going forward, I want to like actually sit down and because a lot of these songs are written with like rap like structure. So like I'm trying to like sit down and write a song in metal structure and like almost like I'm the feature on the metal song, that type of formula, and just keep mixing it up, and some songs bring both of it together, like whatever. But that's kind of what the process has been.
Dope. And I know you guys have just started out and you've done, only a couple performances, but what's the energy like, or what's the, big difference performing with the band versus
Performing with the band
solo?
goes crazy. like Keith was just talking about, when I was on the Certified Psychos tour with Twisted, the Cleveland show was actually Lakewood at the Foundry, and I brought them out to perform for my set, and it was insane. Like, I don't know, like as an artist too, like I feel like the way I perform with the band, I headbang a lot more, but like I still give off the same energy on a solo rap performance, but like having like a group of people behind you pushing out this energy, it just brings you there. You know, it makes you feel like you're part of like the pyramid, not just like a solo thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's a whole different energy when you got that live show with
and
you.
And the fans too, like the fans, everyone's like, dude, like, they're like, it's something so different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To them. Like, I've had people that see me multiple times and they see me with the band, they're like, oh, they're blown away by it.
Yeah.
So.
Brings a whole new set of energy to the performance that I think is dope.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so first part of the interview here, you get to pick whichever bar you want. They've got a question on the bottom of them. Pick whichever one you want at random.
Does any of them have $100 taped under it?
I don't know. You gotta pick one up and find out. Maybe.
A 50. No, I'm saying. Describe what you do without using describe what you do without using the words sing or rap. What do I do? Gang shit. Straight up. Next question.
All right. Straight to the point, huh? All right, so almost every artist in any industry, especially music, deals with haters. How do you deal with haters? Have you had any haters, or is it all love all the time?
I have a whole 50% of a whole subculture hating on me, and it's like on some real shit. Like, I don't even give a fuck about it, because it's like there's been times where I get on there as a not just on some ego shit, but just as a human. Like, when you see someone talking about you and stuff, like, you're always gonna want to defend yourself, and it's like, you're not gonna beat the internet, and I'm not even trying to beat the internet. And it's like, it just gets to a point where it's like, even beyond like the direct hate on the name Cody Manson, like me and my homie Burner 420, right? He's like hella viral on TikTok, all that, and he's like, I would post a reel on my page, and he was like, yo, let me post it on mine and see what it does. And we did this like video about a Starbucks drink or something, just on some random shit, and it got 3.1 million views on Facebook, on his Facebook page, and the comments were just ruthless. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like, one thing that I always hear, and it's one thing that I've even kind of noticed before I heard these, is like, everybody wants to be blow up, and everyone just loves them, but like, that's really like unrealistic, because like there's you gotta have balance. There's always gonna be someone that doesn't like you, right? But it's the ones that like have motion, and then there's like people just like, everybody wants to hate on it. Like, that's like, it's like a strong energy, and people like are threatened by it or whatever. Like, there's a lot of artists I can name, but like, just for example, like 6ix9ine, like when he first like came out with like Gummo, and like he was doing like trolling, and just like everybody, there's people that loved him, and a lot of people hated on him, but everybody watched him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not trying to speak on anything else about his whole situation. Like, that's whatever the fuck it is with him. But like, that whole people love like negative energy. Like, people people feel good about themselves when they're like, yo, look at this fucking wannabe island boy. Look at Tom McDonald. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they're sitting there probably some sloppy fuck that like, don't even, excuse my language, that don't even get to hit their wife when they get home from work. You know what I mean? Like, so it really doesn't bother me. It's just like, if any of these people actually try something in real life, then like, they would, I'm ready. But
I've noticed that's a lot of the shit that goes most viral, is the stuff that gets into negative comments. They're the ones that drive the views a lot of the times.
Algorithm, every comment.
And they're sharing it, talking shit, like you said, and they're really the ones pushing you further.
Yeah, and then I would give everybody a secret. If you're someone that gets hated on constantly, comment back, and don't even be on some like kill 'em with kindness shit. Like, provoke them.
Right.
You know, because they're gonna keep going back and forth, and like they're gonna write paragraphs, and like if you get like 10 people hating on your comments, you start 10 chains of just like provoking them, your algorithm is gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just make sure like you know, don't take it personal, even if it's like even if they're talking about like your kid or something, like the things that would make you want to like, you know, hurt somebody, like just don't take it too personal and just provoke it. Just poke them back and smile, and just, you know, it works.
That's what I was gonna ask next. Do you read all your comments, or do you you know, try and ignore some of the
No,
haters?
I don't read all of them. But there's whole Facebook pages with thousands of followers that talk shit about me on a daily basis, bro. And it's like, I don't care. Like, you know, people can say what they want, and like a lot of the reason, like, you know, there's like rumors and shit that go around about me, or like there could be like one scenario that is a true scenario that was exaggerated, but then like, just because I don't want to fight a whole Facebook page with 50,000 followers waiting for me to get in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Like, that one situation blew out of proportion to where people are trying to say I scammed this kid, and now there's like, it's almost like a meme, or like it's almost like a joke. Like, people will just comment like, "Oh, he fucking scammed me," and like I won't say nothing, but I'll click on their page and I'll click on their inbox. They've never even messaged me, like, let alone talk. So it's like people just saying this shit just to say it, because it's like popular to say.
Right.
You know, so it's like, you know, every once in a while I'll do like a satire, like TikTok, just trolling them back and shit, and just pisses them all off, and it's fun.
Yeah.
You
It's
know.
the best way to do it. You know? Any say all publicity is good publicity.
I'm telling you, man.
Keep them riled up. So, how much of, you know, your music do you say is would you say is a you know, is it a persona, or is it, you know, you amplified when you're making a song?
All right, so my name, Cody Manson, Charles Manson's illegitimate grandson. You can figure that out, do the math. That name sounds like it would be more of a persona, but like before, like me and Keith, we used to be in a rap group. Like, we first started rapping in like high school. We had a group called THC, and I went by Codeine and he went by Ether. And this was like way before like SoundCloud or any, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I went by Codeine just because it sounded like Cody, and he went by Keith or Ether because people used to call him Keither all the time. Like, chicks would call him Keither and shit in school, and he just dropped the K and made it Ether. So like, it was just basically a spin-off of our names. But I feel like back then, like, you know, we did a lot of crazy things, like things that we look back on, like it's like, dude, he was probably like 19, 20, I'm like 22, 23. And we were in certain situations that like we look back on now, you'd think like we were lying, or like we was in a movie scene. Like, you know, I'm not gonna elaborate too much. Maybe we could do a follow-up thing, but like we've been like, I've been on tour with one of my favorite and most like iconic like inspirations during the highest point of their career, and they were signing artists, and we were with them for 7 of like there was a whole tour, but we were on 7 of the shows, and they basically, like, I hate to even say it and make it sound weird, like no Diddy shit, but they were like groomed us to like, they were like, you guys are, like, they let us sound like they were gonna sign us. They had us hanging out with the other artists he just signed, and this was 2012. Like, we had a demo, or it was just a burnt CD with like 3 songs, and him and his manager sat in the rental with us, playing the music, and it's like, yo, look, let me get that CD. That shit was hard. And then like, didn't hear back from him. I also, like I said, not trying to go too deep on this, but it's going there. My old manager at the time, I feel like had something to do with it, but long story short, like probably like a year later, the artist comes out with Stole My Hook from one of the songs, and then proceeded to name his tour the THC tour. You know what I'm saying? And it was like this whole thing, but also, like, you know, so long, I don't know, man. It's just been a crazy ride, but like the persona thing was like, I felt like at that time, like our old manager and just people were trying to push me to like this art. Like, I love all kinds of hip hop. I like trap rap, I like backpack rap, conscious rap, fucking emo sad boy rap. I like all, like most like genres of rap. Like, there's something I do like somewhere, you know? But people would always try to push me into like this riff-raff category or something, because I, you know, like besides like the tattoos, people always call me riff-raff, even like high school and shit. And like, I felt like when I was codeine, like I thought I was being myself, but I was really like trying to like, I feel like be someone I'm not and not realizing it. And then like the one time me and him and a couple of these chicks were tripping like hard on some like paper, and like we're having like this like huge like inspirational like build up of like, oh, we need to quit messing around, we need to really start taking this seriously, blah blah blah. And the one chick was like, Cody, she's like, do you know what you're missing, or do you know what you need to do? I'm like, what's that? She's like, if people could see you right now, how you're talking, like you, like if you could show them that in your music, everybody will love your shit. She said, I'm not trying to, be mean, but she's like, you're kind of like, you're not putting your whole personality out there. So like, when I switched my name to Cody Manson, it was like, I'm just gonna be like this raw, like energetic, fucking like the person that's in my head. I started writing like crazy, like my first, like I was still codeine, but I dropped a mixtape that was called Cody Manson. And I just was going crazy, like just saying the most off the wall stuff, but it was like, I don't know. I don't need to go too far, I don't know. It's just like the persona thing, it's like, it seems more of a persona, it looks more like a persona now, but really this is like my actual me, like letting my naked thoughts out there, my naked energy out there.
That's dope.
Sorry for the long-winded answer.
No, you're good. That's, I appreciate the, you bring out your actual personality, you know, just let it be known what you want, like people to know about you, that's what it's all about, is letting people know what you are really about outside of the music, Right. So, that's cool.
Now, like, real quick, like with the, like in the topics and stuff when I'm rapping and stuff, like, there's like, some people are so used to artists just like having like this fake persona, even if the music's good, like, that like they don't know who they're meeting, and like people will meet me and then they'll like, a lot of times they'll say I'm nicer than they expected, but then like, they might see me in a party situation when I used to party hard and stuff like that, and like, or some type of situation, they'll be like, oh damn, like wait, all surprised, but it's like, bro, like the energy, like there's like, they'll be like, damn, this is really like what you rap about, and it's like, I don't do things to rap about it, I just do things and then rap about my life, like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, it's just crazy because people like expect me to just have like some like on and off switch of a character or some shit.
Right, it's just you all the time.
Type shit, yeah.
Dope. So, and you talked about a little bit about, the genres and stuff, like what do you consider your guys' genre of music now as a band?
So, I want to call it trap metal. I feel like it's like more than that, but like I'm really trying to push this over the ledge more into like the metal. Instead of like being like trap metal, it sounds like it's like, like rap with like a hint of metal. Like this is more like metal with like rap veins in it. You know what I mean? I want to call it drill metal. You know what I'm saying? Because like some of these songs sound like some shit like it's almost like a Chief Keef or like a Lil Durk, like not like their style, but the content, like on some drill and shit. But it's like with a metal band, it's like super grimy. Like, but then there's other songs that are like that are more trap metal. I don't know what to call it. I don't know if one of these guys want to try to answer that.
I don't know what to call it. It's definitely trap metal.
It's just what happens.
With some dark ass lyrics. Some super dark lyrics with some trapped out hip hop stuff. Crazy breakdown.
It's like some super street shit. Like if you listen to the lyrics, like it's still like some raw, like I don't know, like I'm not comparing this myself, but like when I explain this to people say like almost like an inspirational body count in the aspect of like it's a metal band, but it's Ice-T rapping gangster rap. So like this, it's like kind of like that in a way where it's like this like hard metal, but like I'm still like rapping like crazy, like gang shit and like just doing wild shit and like flexing certain shit. Like I'm still rapping about like shit like a rapper would rap about, but making it sound more aggressive. And I don't know.
Yeah, it's dope. So, and you guys would consider yourself normally, like what you've played in the past is just metal.
Yeah.
How is it?
It's always different. We've been in rap metal mixes before all together. But like, we have several projects. So like,
Yeah.
We just like to just put out what we feel. We don't like to like box it up.
Yeah.
Just like we just got into a room and this is just what happened, and it's dope. I think we just like, I don't know. I've never heard nothing like that. That's why I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
Is it a different energy or like a different feeling is when you're making more of just a straight metal song compared to working with a rapper?
Yeah.
Yeah, working around the rap tempos,
Right.
That was a challenge at first.
Yeah, we like riffing in metal, like a lot, like our type of metal. There's like a lot of, whatever. But we do like a lot of complicated riffing in our other band because we're insane, I guess. We don't really put that into a box at all. It's called Dead by Winter, by the way. We're gonna plug it right now.
They're dope. Check it out. It's really actually really fun.
Maybe we'll open for ourselves one day. I don't know. But no, I mean,
That would be hard.
Every group of, when we're in a project, we just like feel the vibe of the people and like, we always mess with Cody. I like did a lot of his recording and producing. He come to the studio with us. A lot of projects that got put out, I just loved it immediately. Like as soon as he came in, I'm like, this is like my new favorite rapper for real. Like I was like blown away when he started rapping.
Thank you, bro.
I probably never even told you that, but I'm just saying like, so when he approached us with the band, I'm like,
thank you, bro.
Yeah, that means like
It all comes together really fast, really organic.
so fast, and it's like there's no, like, it's like not, it doesn't feel like work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all how you know you got a good band. We can just get together with your homies and you can just make good music, and it just feels right, and you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, when it's not forced, it just flows.
Yeah, you don't have to
Everything
force
comes
nothing.
together easy. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
And like, we're all like seasoned. Like, I know they've been doing it for a long time, and they've been doing it together in multiple projects for a long time. And like, I've worked with them, on and off from live shows to like recordings and stuff. But like, they're already all locked in the season. And like with me, like me and him, we've been doing it, me and Keith, since like high school. And like, I've been writing music since I was 14 years old and performing it live since I was 19. And like, it's just like, I feel like I'm very seasoned. Like, I feel like the way this came together, it's like almost like it needs to happen, because it's like, I like performing by myself is cool and everything, but like, it's like there's all these talented people that do things that I don't do, and then like I'm talented and I do what they don't do, and I don't know, it just comes out crazy.
Everybody learns from each other.
Yeah. It's dope. All right. Get to pick your next bar.
What is your most bizarre life experience thus far? Man. Bizarre? I don't even know if I can say all this right now, but there was a I can't speak on that one. No, but say that's.
You don't have to tell all the details.
Someone tried to involve us in an M case. They tried to like coerce us into being like this alibi without telling us that, and it was on Devil's Night, and it was fucking crazy. I feel like the devil and some demons was like possessing these people. It was like, it sounds like some far out like wicked shit, but it was like, nah, some demonic shit was happening that night, and I can't really speak too much on it, but yeah. Or being shot at, that's fucking crazy. Like, you know,
fun.
Like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you all my war stories and all this crazy shit, but like, there's certain, like, when you said that, like, probably 100 things just flashed through my head. Like, there's a lot of crazy shit, but most bizarre is probably that weird experience, because it was almost like they were like puppets, and they were just like trying to be slick about something, but we like caught on to what it was, and we're like, well, this is insane. These motherfuckers gotta leave. Excuse my language again. I feel like I keep cussing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right.
You're good. So, you've done a lot of touring as a solo artist. You know, can you tell us a little bit about the tours you've been on and, you know, some of your favorite experiences?
So, if you count the tours I did as Cody, which is only a couple, but I've been on like, I think like 21 tours.
Yeah.
And I've headlined 11 national tours, and out of those, 21. And I've been on, the biggest tour I've been on was when Twisted brought me on the Certified Psychos tour. They took me on 3 runs with that, and it was like super dope, hella blessing from them. That was, you know, I got to be on a tour bus and everything. Like, you know, every artist dreams about the time, you know, they have a bunk, like a, you know, a tour bus bunk. Like that to me was like, you know, that in itself, like, to some people that are big like that and they're used to that, it's just like the bunk. But like, you know, as an upcoming artist that gets, you know, someone reaches down and gives you a hand up and, you know, doesn't want nothing from you, pays you, gives you a great, just a great opportunity, like, you know, that was like pretty insane. But yeah, I also, in the midst of this, like I used to like book shows locally, you know, because like a lot of promoters just be on some snaky shit. So like I just cut the promoters out, started throwing my own shows. And then once I learned how to throw my own shows, I started like just, after going on some tours as well, putting 2 and 2 together, I started booking my own tours. And I don't know, this year I only did 1 full tour, the Neon Nightmare tour, and then earlier, well not this year, this is 2025 now, but 2024 I only did 1 nationwide tour. It was the Neon Nightmare tour, and then we just finished that in December. And then earlier in the year, February, we did like a mini run, the Heartless Heathens tour. But I usually do like 2 to 3 a year, and it's about 150 shows a year. That's what I did like the before, like 2021 to 2023, those 3 years I did like 150 shows a year.
What's your craziest tour story?
All right, I'm gonna tell you guys a couple. First one, crazy near-death experience on the Twisted tour. It was like a freak accident. The axle snapped on the Sprinter, and I'm pretty sure we rolled. If we didn't roll, it like smacked a bunch of times. There was 9 of us in the Sprinter. 2 of the homies got hurt, had to leave in an ambulance, and it was just crazy. So I had like PTSD being in the van, like still.
Did you guys have to cancel the show that night?
No,
then?
this is what's crazy. It was on a day off, and the next show was Denver, and we're all at the hospital, the ER and everything, and the tour manager comes up to me. He's like, he's joking, but he, you know, was like, "Oh, Cody probably never went on tour with us again." And I was like, "No, bro, is the Roxy's canceled tomorrow? It's a sold-out show." Like, you know, he's like, so I was probably still in shock and everything, but like I was just like, dude, I do not want to miss that show tomorrow.
Still gotta
like,
perform
we
no matter
figured it
what.
out. That's what's crazy. It's like there's footage of pictures from that specific show that still give me like chills, because like literally like near-death experience. Next night you're on stage in front of 1,000 people. Like, life is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, but that's kind of a deeper one. I'm gonna save the best for last. Keith can tell that one from his perspective. But one other crazy tour story is we were in a city. I'm not gonna say it and give any of these little crybaby kids clout, but some local rappers started like fucking with our merch dude, and the one dude swung on my homie. It was like after the show, and long story short, our whole tour package just like scraped up all the local rappers in this one city, and it's all on video, and it was crazy. And yeah, that was a good one. It was like 9 on 20, like just choking people to sleep. It was crazy, bro.
Yeah, you got posted on the internet.
I lost a dread. Some dude's mom got smacked, like for real. No lie, that ass serious. It was fucking wild. I didn't smack her, but she got smacked. Who smacked my mom?
You know.
The funniest part though, I was choking this kid out, and he's like, "Dude, I'm your fucking fan, dog." And I'm like, quit fucking with my team. That like, cause he was the one starting shit. You know, swung on my dude. So it's like, when we're on the road, like, I have a crew, like, driver, merch guy, you know, like, homies I bring with me, but there's always a couple just artists that, like, you know, that are tour support, that, like, I might never met them before in my life. They hit me up on it, because I make a post, like, who wants to go on tour. So sometimes there's, you know, basically complete strangers with us, but even though I don't know them like that, like, I let everyone know before we leave, like, we're a team out here, like, you know, personalities might clash in the van sometimes or this or that. Like, you know, you might not vibe with somebody, but like even if that person don't vibe with, if we're somewhere at a truck stop and some dude, you know, calls someone a racial slur, and, you know, or this or that, like we all gotta, you know, like a pack of wolves, you know?
Yeah.
It was fun.
Gotta stick together on the road.
Yeah, but you wanna come to
Am I saying the town?
no. Don't do that. Don't do
So we was on tour. Okay, so the night immediately started off with first off Doc Spencer, but we got tattooed in a coffin in like a
Yeah.
trailer in the parking lot.
R.I.P. Doc, bro.
And
Wait,
then
did you say in a coffin?
yeah, like in a coffin.
Homie had an RV that he turned into, like, converted it instead of like a conversion. You know how they'd be like making like an apartment? He made his RV a real tattoo shop, and like the tattoo bed was a real coffin.
Okay, I was like, hold on.
That's who gave me the Motel 6 tattoo and the Forever 27. But
So then we went inside and we were on one, and then we performed, and like we just everything got crazy. So there was this this girl that's just all over Cody, right? And then this dude's just standing like awkward, like 5 feet from her, and it's just like her husband, and he's blatantly like not. She's just messing around with him all in front of her. So he's like, "Hey man, distract him." So I like walk by and like go smoke a cigarette outside. So I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette, and I'm just like trying to keep the conversation going as long as I can. And then eventually dude's like, all right, and walks back in there, and I'm with my dude, the other dude that we're on tour with, and he's like, he's about to get caught, isn't he? And I'm like, yep. I'm like, we should finish getting the merch in the car. So we finished packing the rest of the merch. Sure enough, here comes Cody around the corner with his pants halfway around his ankles, like, start the car, go, go. Popped in the car like half naked and took off. I don't think we're allowed back there.
no, we're not.
No, we're
Just a
not.
quick perspective from my perspective. So she was like, just like, oh, I mean, and I wasn't just like, I'm sitting there like, cause I know they're together and shit. I'm just like, yo, like, and dude's just like not caring and stuff. And it's like, I'm not like, I don't know, man. It's just like I said, we was on one or two or three, and it's just she just kept, just kept pushing on me and stuff. So we went out the back. We're in the side alley, and all I heard was, baby. And I was like, oh, got little. Got there. But yeah, they don't book us there anymore, actually. But that was like, a little bit ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've calmed down a lot, no shame, but don't judge me.
So do you guys, as a band and all the previous bands you've been in, do you have some, or I know you have some crazy tour stories. Is there any you're willing to tell us?
Oh, Super Happy Funland.
Super happy.
Funland. All right, so yeah, we get to Texas, right? We'd been in Texas, but we get to Austin. Was it Austin?
Houston. Slums of Houston.
The slums of Houston. Very high homeless rate. Very. Because you can just be homeless year round, and it's like you're just chilling.
Right.
But so we pull up. They have no idea we're gonna be there. We get in there. The place is freaky, man. Like there's dolls hanging from the ceiling. Like it was moist. It smelled wet. But it was cool. It was like an art gallery. Like it wasn't like supposed to be a venue. It was like somebody's living room, and it was like an art gallery, and it was trippy and it was scary. And they were super cool. That they gave us Sure Power and water.
Yeah, because they were like, yeah, the other
RV.
band canceled and the sound guy's not coming, and you guys can jam. And we're like, no, we're good.
No,
we're just gonna park over here and recoup.
There was no show happening that night. Yeah.
It felt really Halloween, like 31, the movie 31.
We watched the movie 31.
We watched 31 in the park.
In the RV.
In the RV.
Because we were like, bro, this is perfect. It was something out of a horror movie. It was freaky.
It was great. And then in Texas too, we also were playing on stage, and we got a bunch of shit talked on us while we were in the parking lot by the opening band.
Oh yeah, that was it. The dime bag spot.
The dime bag spot. I can't remember.
It was the first club that Pantera ever played at, and we were playing there, and somebody was talking shit because we had backtracks.
And we were rapping. It was Metal Mafia, our band, and we had some rapping in and whatever, and they just didn't care for it, and they told us we needed to get the fuck out of there or something.
So all 10 of us lined the front of the stage.
Surrounded the stage.
Yeah, all 10 of us lined the front of the stage and just like watched their set. Like,
just watched them.
Yeah, they they all look
didn't
kind of
fuck
scary.
with them. There was no security kind of like stopped the whole thing. But
Yep.
we didn't understand it because we was like showing mad love. We was in that bitch. We drove 1,700 miles to play for all 80 of y'all.
Yeah.
And we were really excited. And then like somebody was like, "Yo,
And then
bro,
the
they're
cops chopped
trashing
our
you right
tires.
now." And yeah,
The sheriff chopped our tires that night.
it's totally.
Yep.
The sheriff?
Yeah, or whoever. Yeah, the guy.
They just mad because you guys are in motion.
Probably.
They're in their hometown, salty. Who are these very nice guys?
Yeah, it was weird. We thought it was weird, but you know, people are gonna hate. Like they talked about earlier, you know, haters gonna keep it pushing. You know what I mean? The bar's energy turned immediately when we ran up in there, and it got kind of lit pretty fast. So turned their setup anyway. So we helped them, they helped us. Like, what's up? Oh yeah. So yeah, that was fun.
Anybody else?
You guys got some stories for us?
Crazy tour stories.
Yeah, dude, he's in pain. He's got all the tour stories, bro. He opened for everybody.
Mayhem. We went up to Michigan one time. We ended up playing a bar where it was basically just a black metal bar, and we were nothing like black metal.
Yeah, screamo shit.
We're throwing down, we're going crazy, growing wild, to basically 40 people in a bar.
Just varged out.
And then afterwards, after we were done, they walk up to the merch like, "You guys were great." I'm like, "Why didn't you show that you liked us when we were on stage?" Because like right now we're just like, we just drove 600 some miles for nothing.
It's black metal shit.
Yeah, awkward.
Can I say something about that real quick? I noticed that too with a lot of crowds. Like I mean, have to tell artists when like, you know, it's like their first tour or something like that, and it's like, I had to learn this too. Like even on them Twisted tours, there'd be like 1,000 people in a theater, and like there's a lot of people that just turn. But there's the people that like the ones that you specifically like, you know, see. You're like, dude, that dude looks like he does not like my shit. They've never heard it before, so they're really just soaking it in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. They were soaking it in.
Because the ones that never heard you and they're turned, they're not actually like soaking in you.
Right, they'd be
they're
doing
just
that
having a
anyway.
good time, which is cool and it looks cool. But those are the ones that end up like being like, it's like in their mind, like they had like tests. It's like they're gonna like you or not. And then they decide they like you. Then like those are the ones that like will buy every merch drop and like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they turned real cool, but yeah, it was a legitimate like
stealthy.
black metal bar we were at.
Yeah.
Like these guys,
No, I feel
leather jackets. That's their thing. Is just stand there.
It's like
during
playing
the set and
Metallica.
just watch.
Right.
You might get a couple guys go like this, but that's about as much as you're gonna get out of a crowd like that.
Black
It's
metal
crazy.
That's crazy.
So do you think there's a a secret, or what's your recipe for getting the crowd involved? And you know, if you have that person, is you try and break them out of it and actually get them, you know, in tune with your show? Like,
So when it comes down to like, it depends if it's a bigger crowd or a smaller crowd. Smaller crowds are always more intimidating and always more like weird, make you like question everything about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like whenever there's a situation where it's like looks like somebody like one of those people that look like they don't like your shit, like I just like I might look them in their face a few times, but like I don't like focus on that. I just keep putting on my show. You know what I mean? And I don't know, what was the question again?
do you have a secret to getting the crowd hype? Like,
so,
you know, is it?
So I think the biggest thing is literally like talking to the crowd, but not overdoing it. Like before I go on stage at the bigger shows, before I even walk from behind the curtain, I'm like, shout out the tour, whatever it is. Make some, y'all ready for Twisted or whoever I'm on the tour with or whatever. They go loud and I'm like, all right, and I make them chant my name and get, chant it 3 times. By the 3rd time, the whole theater's lit up and the beat drops because I time it, and just come out there and just start throwing down. You know what I mean? Headbanging, doing the whole thing, just like not burning all my gas like we talked about earlier, but just go out there and then like in between songs, like, like the worst thing I figure artists do is like just like wait for their music to play. You know what I mean? Or like tell a joke. Like don't ever tell a joke. Like
Just don't ever tell a joke.
You're a rapper. So like, or if there's like a technical difficulty and the music cuts off, don't look at the guy and say there's a technical difficulty and then tell a joke. Like that's like what you don't want to do. What you should do is be like, if the music stops, you have to roll with it like it's part of the show. Be like, all right, now why I got everyone's attention? Who's got a fucking dollar in your pocket? Make some fucking noise.
Yeah.
You know, something random that a lot of people probably have. And then there's like I'm broke, and they're like, all right, well, if you don't got a fucking dollar in your pocket, make some noise. Like, just give them like a universal thing that's like most likely they have.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta keep the show going
Yeah,
no
just don't
matter what.
overdo it.
Keep it entertaining. Most of the time with mess ups like that, like if you're a good performer, you know, it's like, oh, this, you know, you're mad about it, but the crowd doesn't even notice. Like,
Right.
You know.
Because what stops the energy, even if there's like just like for some reason your set just stops, like your music. Like it might startle you at first, but it's like instead of turning around and be like, dude, and everyone's just like, oh no, you just turn, like, you know what I'm saying? You notice it. As soon as you notice it, you gotta snap right back into performance.
Yeah.
You gotta adapt. You know what I mean? Either keep rapping the song if you got a DJ or something, so you can just switch to the next one when you're done, or just distract them from the technical difficulty instead of fucking pointing it out.
Yeah.
You know.
So you've, you know, some of your songs have some bit of crazy content. You know, it's kind of your thing. Have you had any venues, you know, try and limit, you know, the songs that you could perform, or tell you, you know, there's things that you can't do?
Honestly, the only time ever was back in the day. Me and Keith, when we were THC, we were. It was on the east side of Cleveland, off of Superior somewhere. It was like this outdoor, it was almost like a block party thing that we got booked on. Hollywood in the Hood, shouts out to them. I can't believe I remember the name of that. So if you guys can Google that, you can probably find an old interview, but stay on the Nexus page though, subscribe, all that, comment, whatever. But no, so they were like, yo, this is an outdoor thing, no swearing, da-da-da-da. And sure enough, we go up there, and not only did we just, drunk as hell, we used to party like crazy back in the day, stupid shit. But back in the day, I actually had a legit, I don't want to call it a legit beef. I hate the word beef and all that dumb shit. But there was a rapper from the other side of the city that we were the same age, same image, same everything, and we're Eskimo brothers, if you know what that means, whatever. And it started problems between us and stuff. So and he ended up he was blown up, and I made a diss track about him, and we're on the east side of Cleveland at this thing, and we're already cussing, and they're all sitting there the two guys bro, chill. I'm like, all right, got you, no more swearing. And then I'm like, fuck such and such, boom, 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 fucking suck my, whatever, boom. Drop the beat, and they're all like, no, not this one. And we just rocked it out, and we got off stage, everybody, all the fans, there was kids there, there was it was crazy. everybody loved it. And they were like, yo, you bodied that shit, boom, boom. And those dudes were all like, because we don't want to burn any bridges with anybody. I'm like, well, then don't book me on your shit. But that was the only time, that was probably 2011.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. But as far as being Cody Manson, never, because I dropped my first Cody Manson album on a horrorcore label. You know what I mean? Even though I'm not horrorcore, I know that word can be bent and morphed, but compared to the other artists and the vibe of that label, that's it was like a bloodbath horrorcore label. So people expect me to be saying anything under the sun that you could think of besides racism or some crazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Ripping out intestines and whatever. You can just Google horrorcore rap. You'll find some good stuff. You'll find a lot of shitty stuff.
So when you make a song, what what inspires you, or what really drives a song? Is it how can I shock these people the most, or is it I'm trying to tell the story, or
it depends on the song. Everything I write is driven by my mood and my emotions, and it's I don't just when I'm sad, I'm just write this sad ass song. There's some songs on this album that I was in I want to call it the most sad boy era of my life, most depressed, as a grown ass man crying like a fucking schoolgirl about some shit, and instead of writing some sad song, I wrote a song that's if you listen to words, it almost sounds kind of emo-ish, but it's really just I made it aggressive still. The song Crash Dummy, you gotta go see the performance. that's one of the songs. I'm sitting here talking about like when hurt people hurt, or they say hurt people, but right now I'm fucking hurt and I should hurt people. You know, I still keep it like with an aggressive energy instead of just like falling down like the emotional hole. But as far as like the crazier stuff, like it just depends. Like, if I hear a beat that sounds fun, I'm gonna say some wild Rick and Morty type shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like just some off the wall, whatever. But I don't know. Yeah, it's just mostly my emotions.
That's how you feeling that day.
Yeah.
Or
Right, like I might have a beat that's like a fire, like piano, like sad beat, and I'll be like, yo, I want to write this, but like I don't know when, but eventually, like there's gonna be a reason, or whatever. I'm gonna be sad sometime in the future, and I'm gonna kill this fucking beat.
That one.
Yeah, and it always happens. It's like,
oh yeah,
yeah,
that's dope. All right, you got one more bar here. Don't pick it.
What would my eulogy say? What's a eulogy? No, I was playing.
We did something like that in rehab.
That's a deep ass question.
Right?
Like that's kind of like, damn. I'm trying to be funny and I can't because it's crazy. It's crazy. What would my eulogy say?
He scammed me.
Yeah, scam artist. No, it would probably be something like GANGSH.
Nothing else.
Whole lot.
They're like, what does it mean? There's periods in between these letters.
Equal to or greater than.
Or it would be like, my tombstone would say, here I sit all broken hearted, came to shit but only farted.
Bars.
So what was yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I did that. I think I walked out like that day. Like,
He's like, oh yeah, actually I'm in the wrong
That must have been one of the ones I walked out of.
Meeting next door. All right. So you've got a lot of other things you do as well. You know, you've got the fashion, make your own clothes. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that came about?
Oh yeah. So like back in like I said, me and him have been rapping together since like high school. He was always in punk bands, and it's like I was always like more on like the street side of life. And when we got to rapping together, like he was in a punk band, and it's like I always liked punk music. Like I went through phases as a kid, like, you know, like everybody does when they're growing up. And like I've always skateboarded, and I've always liked hip hop. I've always liked new metal, punk, all that. But like I felt like when I was growing up, I always had to like, I could only be this, you know, one or the other thing. So it's like I might have dressed more like, you know, street compared to like, you know, my homies wearing all the studs and stuff. But like I was into a lot of the same stuff. And wait, what was the question again, bro? Holy crap.
Oh, y'all forget the question?
No, about the fashion, bro.
Oh, the fashion.
I did too.
I was thinking
I'm like,
He put it on you. How could you forget the question?
Alright, so the punk, when I got around like him and his like the punk band kids and all that, they all had the studs, like the crust punk with the patch in the pants and stuff like that. And like, you know, especially me and him, you know, when you hang out with someone for so long, like you start influencing each other subconsciously and stuff like that. So like, you know, he's always into hip hop too, but he'd have like this like big like pink mohawk, green mohawk, something crazy. You know, he was in high school, he looked like if he dressed today like he did in high school, there's people that like nowadays would be like, dude, that's so fire. But back in the day, like he was like, he had to fight tooth and nail, you know, because there's like everyone's like, oh, look at the weirdo. But he just stood on that shit, you know what I mean? But like that, the whole punk rock thing kind of inspired me to start just like by putting patches on clothes and stuff. But you know, I started like getting like, I had like a really materialistic part of my life where like every day, or like, you know, as much as I could, like I would be hitting licks, get a little come up, and I would go blow it all on clothes and a bottle of liquor and enough money to get into the club. You know what I mean? And I always try to have a brand new outfit from the socks to the drawers every day. And I started like learning how to put outfits together and like just having like a sense of fashion in general. But then like eventually like there'd be something that's like super dope. I'm like, you know, it'd be so much cooler if I did this to it. And for like the longest time when I had that thought, like I wouldn't do it, I would just talk about it. And then like the one day I was like, fuck it, like I cut the sleeves off that brand new shirt I just bought. And everyone's like, why'd you just bought that? And I'm like, dude, look how hard it looks though, you know? And it's like, I'll get compliments on this one thing that I altered. And so it just got to the point where I just started making like clothes for myself. Not even just to be different, but just because I couldn't find like the full, like I'd find something that was like 80% there. Like that's dope, but like it'd be so much cooler if there's this thing on it and like whatever. But I started making like clothes for like stage and stuff like that. Like when I go on tours or like for a specific, like if I was in like a festival, like I would like make like a crazy outfit. Cause I feel like that's a big part, like especially like in a live performance, it's like the image is everything. But then like, you know, people compliment me and then they'd be like, yo, how can I get something like that? You know, so eventually I start taking commissions and now it's to the point where I like printed merch, like the t-shirts and stuff, but I also have like, you know, if you like the past few tours, like I'll have a custom, like it'll be like a one-of-one hoodie. It might be like a 2XL hoodie with all these crazy band patches and like, but it's like, that's the only one like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope.
So,
it's a one-of-one, handmade.
Yeah, I'm actually starting to get into, I'm studying how to make a garment from scratch where I can take fabric and like cut the stencil and make a blank t-shirt from scratch and then customize it to where it's like completely handmade. And that's gonna be like the high-end stuff, you know, once I get that, you know. Right now I'm just more in the creative process and just doing things, throwing paint at the wall.
Yeah. It's all fire from what I've seen.
Appreciate it, man.
And so is there somewhere that they can go buy your custom
I'm actually about to
clothing?
build a website because I'm transitioning a certain part of my career and I'm gonna have my own merch website and everything. My brand is Trife Life. There will be like a section where you can get the printed merch or whatever, but the main thing, like the homepage is gonna be all the designer handmade stuff that I've done. But as of right now, like if you want a commission, you just hit me on Instagram at Cody Manson, all lowercase, no space, with the number 7, and just DM me or comment on a photo and say you're interested in some fashion.
Oh. And what's the concept behind the name?
What, Trife Life?
Yeah.
Just like I kind of like described a little bit earlier, just like lived a crazy life. You know, I know a lot of people have had a lot harder lives than me or have experienced like certain situations that were more severe, but at the same time, like, you know, like I'm not trying to compete with anybody else's life story. I just know like I've done a lot of crazy shit from a very young age. And like I look back on it now, like at the time, like it did, like I didn't realize how young I was doing something. First time I smoked weed, I was 6 years old. And it's nothing to brag about. Like I got a daughter that's 5. Like, you know, if I can't even imagine her even like knowing what weed is. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, from fighting, gang fights, you know, robbing people and just crazy, like just dumb street thugging shit when you're young and dumb. And just the Trife life, like, you know what I mean? Like, but I also like have like a more like positive turn on it. It's like being able to like make it out of that circumstance and like, you know, get your grind together and just like, you know, learn how to, even if it's not like the regular 9 to 5, which I'm not hating on 9 to 5, but like I found a way to hustle without having to sell drugs like I used to do. Or like, you know, like if I'm like low on money and I'm like, yo, I need to make some money, instead of like, yo, who's the one dude that was the plug? Man, let's rob him. Like now it's like, hey, I'm gonna go spend this last bit of money on these 5 hoodies and I'm gonna fucking deck them out and I'll post them online with faith that they're gonna sell. And they sell, you know? So it's like basically just working with what you got to make life work. But also like there's the sketchy element of like, you know, the word Trife Life, a lot of people always tell me too, they're like, yo, Mobb Deep has a song called that. Like I've never claimed that I like created that term. You know what I'm saying? Like the Trife Life is like just like trifling, like you just gutter shit, you know what I mean? So.
Nice. So you know, you've talked about some of the crazy shit you've done in your life. And I'm sure you've made some mistakes along the way, you'd say. You know, is there any mistakes that you regret, or, you know, what's one of the like biggest lessons you've learned from?
so there's I'm gonna quote an artist named T3rrorist. He has this On the Radar freestyle, and he says something like, he said something about, I don't remember what the whole bar was, but it was something like, when I was young, I robbed some good dudes. I kind of played myself. Like, some of the things I regret wouldn't even be necessarily, like, even, like, the case that put me in prison and stuff, like, wasn't even, like, I don't really even regret that. But, like, there's, like, you know, I've crossed and, like, you know, did some crazy shit to, like, you know, not even just, like, people, like, because, like, I'm way more, like, as an adult now, like, I'm way more, like, human. Like, I'm more, like, tapped in with just, like, no, I'm more empathetic towards the human being nowadays, you know what I mean? But, like, back then, like, I just didn't give a fuck, and, like, it's, like, you know, I've crossed people that, like, were, like, brothers to me, you know what I'm saying? Like in the one song I said, I've had my own friend's own blood on my hands just because I was down and out and I needed a couple bands. Like, shit like that, like, that's the shit that I could say I regret, you know? And it's like, can you take it back? No. But it's like, the best thing you can do is move forward, and you gotta deal with the consequence. Either they're gonna forgive you one day, or you'll never see them again, or one day they might try to come get you, you know what I mean? So those are like the situations I could say I definitely regret.
Do you think those experiences and, you know, your time in prison has affected your music and the person you are now?
Most definitely. Like, I've been going in and out of jail my whole life. Like, the first time I went to jail I was 14, and it was like a kid in prison. Like, you know, I've been, like, obviously, like, when you're younger, like, there's way more fighting. Like juvenile and, like, the youngest, like, adult pod in, like, the county jails are always the most wild. There's always the most fights because everyone's, like, young and fucking crazy. You know, when you're older, you just want to chill. But, it definitely, like, I was actually just talking to my therapist about this shit, and I didn't think I was institutionalized because I didn't do, like, a long-ass bid. Like, some people never go to jail their whole life, and then they catch a case as an adult, do 4 or 5 years, and come out, like, different, like, institutionalized. Like, for me, it's like, you know, 6 months or 9 months when you're 14, and then you do 6 months here, 90 days, you know, and then go do a year here. And it's like, you know, you look back, you're like, damn, I'm almost 30 years old, and I've been going in and out of jail since I was 14, you know? So, like nowadays, like, I'm not, like, scary about shit, I'm just not stupid. And, like, the things that, like, people, like even, like, weed's legal in Ohio now, but, like, I'd be on some shit, like, not even on some scary shit, but, like, I wouldn't want motherfuckers to have weed around me in a car or something. Any type of situation at all that could possibly get me fucked with and fuck up this trajectory that I have as an artist. Like, you know, I'm just not with it, you know? So, like, I would say it definitely makes me think a lot different and a lot smarter about how I move in any situation in my life.
So, you've, you know, made a lot of progress. Do you think, what's the single biggest lesson that you've learned?
The biggest lesson I learned is don't take people for granted. Not to sound like cliche, but that's some real ass shit. Like, you know, there's people that come in and out of your life, and sometimes you might be the reason that they left your life, you know what I mean? And even if you were the reason they left, sometimes, like, it's not a big impact. But then there's, like, people that's, like, not even that you meant to do it, but something might have happened to where, like, your action made a consequence of them leaving your life. And it's, like, just, yeah, like, I just, you know, don't take people for granted, man.
Thanks. So, let's go through what's one of the biggest lessons you've learned either in life now or in the music industry?
Nothing beats authenticity in music, and nothing sells better. You can't fake it. You can't manipulate it. You can't pretend that it's there. Like, it's something's authentic and genuine, and people feel it or they don't.
It's a feeling.
Yep.
Like,
they feel it.
No facts behind it or what, but
Nope.
people know. Like,
Yeah.
it's a feeling when you know that it's authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Keith, what's one of your biggest lessons?
In the music world, it's just like, you know, if you're doing projects with people like we do a lot, like multiple people all the time, it's just like, I learned that you can You just got to make sure they got the same heart as you, and the talent will come. You can get together in a room and just rehearse and practice and figure it out and learn. But if you ain't got the heart to do this shit and get out there and get broke down on the road and flip the trailer, flip the van, break down in the middle of the desert, go broke, eating cans of SpaghettiOs with goddamn...
That's a you thing.
That is a me thing. But it's $2. You know
I'm not eating none of that.
But I'm just saying, it gets rough out there in the middle of the
not
fucking
ready to
country.
live
You
off-
ain't ready to live like that, you will
Gas
break.
station food, bro.
Hell yeah.
Because, you know, that's how we got in a lot of these bands. It's like bands were on tour, they go on a tour, and then they lose 2 or 3 members because they're like, this is not even for me at all. This is not a party. This
So we got 3 more to go this year.
yeah, we talk about these fun tour stories and all this shit. It's not all that. It's like so much work and sacrifice and just so much misery and suffering we put our families through. Like for real. Like
So many divorces. So much alimony.
Let me speak on that real quick too. Like a lot of people always like, especially like everyone's been there with their first tour. It's like, you know, it's like natural to feel like, yo, this is like, you're excited, like you feel like you have all these like your imagination of what tour is gonna be like, and all this, and it's like exactly like what you heard, but it's like nothing like what you think it's gonna be. Yeah. And like I always say this, it's like halfway homeless, halfway rock star.
Yeah.
It's like you feel like a fucking drifting like nomad bum until you get out that van, get a shower, and walk in that venue, and then it's on, and then it's like, oh, wait, you mean we're not getting a room tonight? We have to drive 14 hours across the country, and we're not showering for another day and a half? Fuck it.
Yeah. I've known a lot of people that once they make it to that point, they're like, oh, maybe this wasn't for me. I don't
they
know.
catch a flight home.
Like, I don't like sleeping in vans.
In my mind, it's like this. It's like I've had those moments where it's like I really like, especially the older I get, you know, the more my kids are growing up. It's like, am I doing the right thing? Because like it does pay the bills, but it's up and down. So it's like, you know, something like clothing. I hustle still besides just rapping, but like touring is a big, you know, money maker for independent artists. And it's like at this point, it's like I feel like I've came too far to where it's like beyond my felony and what I look like, you know, trying to get a job somewhere. Like I've already, listen, I'm not saying I wouldn't get a job. If I absolutely had to, I would go get a job. You know what I'm saying? Like I weigh my options in that area if I had to. But it's just like what else am I gonna do at this point? Like some people, like, you know, anyone can learn something or get interested and pick it up. You know, you can be 45 and start rapping. Like there's no one can tell you when to start. But like for someone like me, like I've literally dedicated my whole life to building me as an artist to the point to where it's like when there's people in the van and they're like, it's like, bro, like for me, it's like even if the tour's not going good, if there's something that happened, or if like there's a financial struggle halfway through the tour, or there's, you know, a little bump for a week, it's like, you know, like whatever, I just enjoy it. Like even if we're in the middle of like Nebraska on a day off in some ran down hotel, some Hills Have Eyes shit, it's like motherfuckers complaining there's no Wi-Fi, this and that. I'm like, bro, we're living everyone's dream right now, bro. And it's like you're not gonna get the arena, like the fairy tale, like you can blow up on TikTok with your first song and now your song arenas, like that can happen, but the chances of it happening are like slim to none. So it's like you have to go through the struggle and these crazy like endeavors and adventures to be able to even, like, what business do you have doing an arena show if you don't even know how to rap in front of 100 people?
Right.
I mean, but yeah, long-winded again.
No, that's
So you got life lesson, music, or life?
Me?
Yeah, you can share.
Stock up on Plan B.
Hey, real
He
shit.
said fuck the condom.
Real shit.
Yeah,
Passing
just
out the plan B afterwards.
abort the nation 2025.
He gets them by the 1,000 pack.
He's like, here, open up.
But it's like the Amazon ones.
There's a bulk.
He said blue shoes.
Buys it by the pallet.
Blue shoes and Plan B. Keith, you have the party pack, the blue shoe and the Plan B.
Yes. What if you accidentally give her the wrong one though?
She left.
Life's short. Keep it interesting.
Yeah.
That's really it. You know, I'm
Make it
a
fun.
war veteran. I actually went to Iraq in 2004,
Thank you for your
2005, and
Yeah, I didn't even know that, bro. Thank you.
Yeah,
for
I
your
got
service,
experience
bro.
with people
See,
shooting
me
at
and
me
George,
too, brother.
just starting to like learn each other and shit. He just seems himself,
But yeah, keep it interesting. I mean, that's why I like getting involved in like all kinds of different things. If anybody was to look into me, they'd be like, "Oh, you can't pin me down to one thing."
Make sure you look into them. Look into them.
Me, I'm pretty much on the same line with Keith. You know, having the heart and drive to, you know, do what you need to do in the music industry and the sacrificing and, you know, taking all the dirty tours and that thing. You have to have that drive.
I think that's the biggest thing I always tell people. I'll take somebody with drive over skill, because you can learn skill, but if you don't have the drive, you're not going to make it. Don't matter how much talent you got. I've known a lot of talented people that didn't have the drive to make it.
And there's a lot of people that aren't that talented, but they bust their ass and they popping.
Yep, for real. That's what it's all about. That work ethic. And you know, speaking of that, you guys have all been working very hard on this project and all the other projects that you guys have going on. So why don't you just tell us what you got coming up and what they should be looking out for?
So I have 2 Cody Manson albums that are dropping early this year. This thing that we're doing is we have quite a bit of songs stacked up, but they're not completely perfected yet. I don't want to put a time limit on it. Like I was aiming for like spring to drop it, but like I said, we'll just see how it falls together. Because we're not going to just half-ass it. We're going to make sure that we have a proper launching campaign to hit the ground running and stay consistent with. Like not just like a strong push and then like quit after a couple months. Like we're going to turn this up. But yeah, I can't really speak on the one album because it's a collab album with somebody and it's super dope. And I'm not going to give that away yet. But yeah, the T3rrorist Hilton album is about to be crazy. See, originally, before we decided to have a band name, it was going to be Cody Manson. I was going to call the album Trifling. But I haven't even talked with them yet, but I almost feel like for T3rrorist Hilton, I kind of just want it to be like a self-titled album. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Fire.
Kind of speaks for itself, but like that's up in the air. Like I said, we're still figuring it out. We just know that we have, like, you know, it's like we have the money, we just haven't figured out where we're spending it yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but it's gonna be dope.
Any side projects y'all want to shout out? I know y'all got a lot of things going on. So.
Yeah, I mean, Dead by Winter.
Dead by Winter.
That's Dead by Winter.
Hey, he's in Dead by Winter.
Yeah.
Fun fact: JB started Dead by Winter with us, and then George took his spot.
Dude, yeah.
And now they're in the same. Now we're in the same band.
Hey.
So I think that shit is fucking
That's how
cool.
it's supposed to be.
Full circle.
So yeah, it's
I
full
got a
circle.
new solo hip hop album produced by Keith Kelly about to come out called Damaged Goods.
That was fun.
That should be in the next month or so. Just gotta wrap up a couple times.
I didn't know that. Nobody
I
told me.
also just dropped an album called Double Cups and Demons a few months back. It started as an EP with me and him that Keith engineered the whole thing for, but I ended up adding more music to it and making it a full album. That's on all streaming platforms. I got another EP coming out with the homie Burner 420. I don't think we even named the EP yet, but we have like 3 songs deep on it already. So shout out Burner 420, shout out Los Sorrows. Straight like that.
When can we expect to see some music out from the band, the album?
Well, we have a fire-ass video that was shot and it's pretty much done being edited. We just did another live performance one. Like I said, we're gonna make sure we're prepared. I'm not gonna give you our whole formula, but we're not just gonna before we completely like pull the cover off, we're gonna have, you know, the ammunition to so while we have that strategically dropping, we'll be making the next thing, you know what I mean? So I mean, like, it's really up to everybody. We gotta talk about it, but like in my mind, I was thinking like sometime spring, early spring or something, you know? Cause like here's the thing, like it's dope right now. Everyone I show it to right now, they like it, but I feel like it hasn't hit the bell of like, this is the thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's very, very close. The stage presence is there, the sound is there, but like there's certain elements, like more screaming I feel like it needs, or like, you know, just little things that we need to like kind of like just doctor up.
Fine tuning.
you know. But like, cause I don't want like, I know people like it now, but I want it to be like undeniable. Like I'm not like a perfectionist. Like I'm not gonna take too long, but like I want it to go hard.
So, give us your social media, where we can find you guys.
Pick up your phone and dial 911. No. Just Cody Manson, number 7 on Instagram. I believe if you just look up Cody Manson on Facebook, YouTube, Cody Manson, TikTok, Cody.Manson, social security number, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, hit that up.
Dead by winter.
Dead by winter.
Dead by winter.
We're not individual artists. Like,
We got we got music
It's,
on all of it,
all the platforms.
all the things. I think we got to pay our distro kid, but don't tell
And
anyone.
then NexusSoundStudio, because that's where we work and produce. So we produce all the projects out of here,
Hey.
and that's what we do.
Shout out
Kelly's
Nexus.
badass engineer.
Yeah, and all mine is at Keith Stoned 666 across all the platforms.
Gas.
You can find me on Instagram with Archibald 4 or with the Dead by Winter guys, definitely.
And you just find me as JB Delmar.
All right.
Keith Kelly 330 is the personal if you want to hit it for Nexus.
And make
related
sure y'all
events.
follow Nexus Sound.
Don't hit me up personally.
Appreciate it. Make sure you go follow all of them. Look out for their new music. We've got a lot of dope music coming out. I've heard little previews, and it's something to look forward to. So make sure you follow everybody. Subscribe, like, share, comment. All of that is much appreciated. And that's it. Thank
Bars.
you guys for coming in.
Bars.
Subscribe,
And,
subscribe, like, comment, share.
Bars.
Bother somebody.
Bars at NexusSoundStudio. And that's a wrap.
Gang shit.
Sir.